With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even return.
Caitlin Clark, one of basketball's most promising young players, will now travel to Europe. Her decision to play in a European league startled many in the WNBA community, sparking heated debate on social media and among fans. How did this occur? Why would a player with as much promise for a WNBA career as Clark make such a significant change? In this video, we'll take a deep look at Caitlin Clark's surprise relocation abroad.
During her exit interview, Storm player Gabby Williams warned the WNBA, if you want to keep international players, you need to do better. So here's what she had to say.
The W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here. And I think I didn't express that when I first talked about prioritization. You know, our commissioner talked about us being able to, you know, make 700,000. That's not true at all. There's not one player who makes that. And we were promised, you know, team marketing agreements and league marketing agreements, but they've fallen quite short. So it's still not enough for us international players to want to stay here, and that's a choice of the players. If I make a choice to make more money and whatever, and then the teams are mad that I don't come back, but that's how it is. So yes, it just the WNBA, you know, if you want us to be here, you have to pay us more. It's business, it's how it works, and that's all that.
Caitlin has always been a hot issue in basketball, from her amazing collegiate performances to the excitement surrounding her professional debut. Now that she has decided to leave the WNBA, everyone is wondering what her future holds and how her decision will affect the basketball world as we know it. In the next minutes, we'll go into every intriguing aspect of this story. We'll talk about why Caitlin Clark chose the European League, how fans are responding, and what this decision could imply for the WNBA and her career in the future. Prepare yourself for an exciting voyage. The WNBA went bananas once Caitlin Clark announced her departure from America. Before we continue, I have a tiny request. If you appreciate this content, could you kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel? Thank you. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing, which costs you nothing but makes a significant difference to us. So, have you clicked the subscribe button? Great, thank you very much. Now return to the video. To understand why this decision is so significant, we must first consider who Caitlin Clark is as a player. Clark made headlines during her college years for all the right reasons. Her long shots, remarkable vision on the court, and unwavering passion made her one of the most entertaining players to watch in NCAA basketball. Every encounter with Clark seemed like a highlight, something unique to witness. Fans could not get enough of her games. The arenas were packed, and her name became synonymous with entertaining basketball. But what if she leaves?
Now, it's not out of the norm for WNBA players to play during the regular season and then during their off-season play overseas. This is something that has been happening for like the entirety of the WNBA. It even went as far as to 1 year in 2015, Diana Taurasi played in Russia and did not play in the WNBA. And it was never outright stated that she didn't play in the WNBA because Russia basically put that in their contract, that if she went there, she couldn't play. But that was pretty much what everybody thought happened because Russia paid Diana Taurasi at that time $1.5 million salary to play in Russia. Now, at the time in the WNBA, the salary, like the highest salary in the league, was $107,000. So obviously that's a huge jump.
Can you blame Clark for taking such a contract? Especially since Nike is just ignoring the contract they have with Caitlin. Clark's charm shone just as much as her skills. She possessed a calm assurance on the court that was difficult to match. Her joy was palpable even through the television screen, and she quickly became known as the next great thing in women's basketball. By the end of her college career, no one believed Caitlin Clark was on her way to great things, and the WNBA was the place for her to take her game to the next level. So when it was announced that Clark would not be joining the WNBA straight away and would instead play overseas, everyone in the basketball world was astonished. Fans anticipated seeing her thrive in the WNBA, shatter records, and thrill crowds. With this surprise choice, many people began to wonder, why?
And I feel like with the growing popularity of the WNBA and with players able to, make money off brand deals and this and that and their celebrity rising, there could be a world where more of these private owned EuroLeague teams, I could see some of these teams going after some of our star players in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark's arrival was a significant event for the league. Fans were delighted to see her compete against the finest players, like A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. They expected her to alter the game with her own style of play. Clark has a large fan base that has followed her from college to the pros, which may benefit the league greatly. Just consider the matchups. Clark against Sabrina Ionescu, Clark versus Diana Taurasi. Fans were looking forward to these games, and many believed Clark might help increase WNBA viewership. She had previously packed stadiums in college, so it appeared that she would do it again in professional games. And that is precisely what she accomplished. She nearly smashed every record there is, even attendance records. But now, with reports that she would play in another nation, all of her hopes for a second season are on wait, at least for the time being. The WNBA, which already battles to attract attention, may have to go on without one of the most intriguing players in years. This raises an important question. What will happen next for the league? Can they fill Clark's position, or will this be a missed opportunity with long-term consequences? You might be wondering why Caitlin Clark is heading to Europe now. Is it better than the WNBA? There are other factors that may have impacted her decision. First and foremost, basketball in Europe is really powerful. Countries such as Spain, Turkey, and Russia have a wealth of talent. For Clark, this is an opportunity to acquire new skills and tackle new obstacles. She can improve her skills before joining the WNBA. Now, let's speak about money. Many female basketball players make far more in Europe than in the WNBA. Clark has the potential to land lucrative contracts with teams in that area. This has been a long debated matter, and for athletes like Clark, who have a large fan base, the financial incentives may be too enticing to pass up.
And if the money makes sense, if the business aspect makes sense, we could lose more players to playing overseas, like Gabby kind of alluded to here. The commissioner told her that she could make $700,000 playing in the WNBA through marketing this and that. I don't know what Kathy was talking about, because even the highest paid player in the WNBA currently makes a little over $200,000 in salary, and then I don't know what the WNBA does with their marketing dollars, but it's definitely not going to equate to $700,000. And even
another motivation for her transfer is exposure. Playing in another nation allows Clark to exhibit her abilities on a global scale. European basketball attracts followers from all around the world, and Clark's growing fan base might help her earn international recognition. Teams in other nations are always looking for the greatest players, and playing in Europe might place Clark in the middle of major basketball competitions. Playing overseas may also provide a welcome respite from the continual pressures of life in the United States. It's a distinct setting aside from the ever-present American sports media. This can help Clark focus on only playing basketball, perceive things from a different perspective, and prepare even better for future WNBA trials. Finally, consider the lifestyle. Living in Europe provides a unique experience: great basketball, gorgeous cities, and interesting new cultures. For young athletes like Clark, this is a significant opportunity that includes more than just basketball.
Discussion about the discrepancy between the WNBA salary and the NBA salary, because as we all know, NBA players make millions and millions of dollars. And I actually made an
When the news of Clark's trip to Europe broke, supporters were startled and voiced a wide variety of emotions. Social media was alive with posts and comments. Some individuals were ecstatic, while others were upset. Many fans believed Clark's departure was detrimental to the WNBA's growth, since they were optimistic about her future in the league. Some supporters were disappointed that they wouldn't be able to watch Clark excel in the WNBA. Others understood, understanding that playing in Europe provided several prospects for her career. A few followers were just excited to see where her path will lead her next. One thing is certain: Caitlin Clark's choice generated more buzz than many other basketball stories. People aren't simply watching her play, They want to know how this move will impact her career and the world of basketball.
Our biggest star in the league, Caitlin Clark, is only making a base salary of around $76,000 or $78,000 for this first season. She signed a 4-year, just over $300,000 rookie salary. So Caitlin's rookie salary is a little over $300,000 for 4 years, and that's all that she's going to make in the WNBA. Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three. So the money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas and possibly not returning. There has been so much to...
It's astonishing to see that the WNBA did not anticipate this decision. For months, everyone speculated that Clark may become the new star of women's basketball in the United States. But now she could play in Europe, putting the league in an uncomfortable position. So far, the WNBA has been quite quiet about it. However, I believe that many individuals are contemplating ways to ensure that this does not happen again. The WNBA understands that players frequently leave for other countries, but losing Clark at this stage of her career is significant. This circumstance presents an important question. Can the WNBA continue to expand if the greatest players opt to play in other countries? It's a challenging topic, and the league must find a solution immediately.
Look at the numbers, and when we look at what the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make sense. It's actually not that unfair what the players are paid. Now, that might all change because of this season, but in the past, the only on record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. Now, there has been rumors, there has been reports, there has been many things that say that the WNBA was projected to make $180 to $200 million in revenue for the 2023 season, but those numbers were never confirmed. I cannot find a source that confirms those numbers. The only ones I can is $60 million. Now, the NBA in 2022 made around $10 billion in revenue. So if you do the math there, that is about 166 times the amount of money that the WNBA makes. Now, if you take Victor Wembanyama, who was, an NBA star coming into the league, he just finished up his rookie season, he's going into his next. If you look at his rookie salary, which was around $55 million for 4 years, and then you look at Caitlin Clark's $300 and I think it was $38,000 salary that she signed for 4 years, that is about the same amount more. It's around 162 times more.
Caitlin Clark's action has far-reaching implications beyond the WNBA. With her playing for a European team, many more people will be paying attention to women's basketball all around the world. Fans will want to watch her games internationally, and if she continues to perform well, European leagues may receive a lot more attention. This also demonstrates how more American players are seeking for chances outside the United States. For many years, great female athletes have traveled abroad to earn more money and obtain new experiences. Clark's decision is part of a trend, but since she is such a prominent figure, it will draw even more attention to basketball throughout the world. In a manner, this might benefit women's basketball everywhere. More focus on foreign teams means more possibilities for players all across the world, and it has the potential to help the game expand in unexpected ways. So, what comes next for Caitlin Clark in Europe? First, we can anticipate her to continue flourishing on the court and scoring a lot of points. The European league she is joining is extremely competitive, but I feel Clark will play a key role there. Her playing style will most certainly change as she adapts to European basketball, which values collaboration and talent. Regardless, her brilliance is apparent. Whether she's shooting from long range or making great passes, people in Europe will enjoy seeing her play. And for those of us watching from other areas of the world, it will be intriguing to see what occurs. Will she become Europe's top player, or is this merely a stepping stone to her return to the WNBA? Only time will tell. Caitlin Clark's choice to play in a European league is a great surprise to basketball fans. This action raises questions about the future of women's basketball, not only in the United States, but throughout the globe. Right now, the WNBA must go without one of its biggest talents, whilst Europe is overjoyed to welcome her. However, Caitlin's journey does not end here. Caitlin Clark is a player that captivates everyone's attention wherever she plays, whether in the WNBA or Europe. Her journey is just beginning, and as fans, we'll love seeing her push boundaries and demonstrate what women's basketball is capable of. So what are your thoughts? Is Caitlin Clark better off heading to Europe or staying in the WNBA? Please leave your opinions in the comments. We can't wait to hear your thoughts.